Please be seated. Chancellor, University Council, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, senior officers, academic and professional staff, graduands, families and friends. It is with pleasure that I welcome you to Victoria University's graduation ceremony for the College of Business and the College of Law and Justice. My name is Susan Young and I'm the Dean of Students at Victoria University and your MC for today. On behalf of my fellow Victoria University staff, I extend a warm welcome and congratulate all graduands on their achievements today. As a mark of respect to Australia's Indigenous people, we acknowledge the ancestors, elders and families of the Boonwurrung and Woiwurrung of the Kulin, who are the traditional owners of university land. As we share our own knowledge practices within the university, may we pay respect to the deep knowledge embedded within the Aboriginal community and their ownership of country. We acknowledge that the land on which we meet is a place of age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal, and that the Kulin people's living culture has a unique role in the life of this region. I would now like to invite Chancellor Mr. George Pappas AO to speak with you. The Chancellor's role is to chair the Council and to guide the strategic direction of the University. Thank you, Chancellor.
Thank you, Susan. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, senior officers, academic and professional staff, graduands, graduates' families and friends, welcome. And of course, a very special welcome to those who are graduating today. We're also delighted to have colleagues here today from some of our partner institutions in Asia. Our partnerships throughout Asia are very important to Victoria University and provide wonderful pathway opportunities for students to study at VU through institutions such as Sunway University and Lytton Hall Academy in Singapore. Welcome to all of you. Today is a day to celebrate because you, our graduating students, have taken the opportunity that Victoria University has offered you and you have achieved success, your success. In doing this, you've demonstrated a capacity to set goals and to work hard and to achieve them. You've shown persistence and determination. I also have no doubt that most of you have learnt the art of juggling priorities, and many of you have overcome challenges in order to complete your studies. These are not just qualities that have enabled you to gain your well-earned qualification, they are qualities that will assist you as you build your careers. Your success in getting here today is one of many successes that you will enjoy in life. So be proud of what you've achieved and know that your parents, your families, your friends, and all the staff who've been a part of your time with us are equally delighted with your success. You're graduating from a university that is highly regarded, not just nationally, but internationally. Victoria University is ranked in the top 2% of universities worldwide. It's also been ranked as 56 of all of the universities in the world that are less than 50 years old. And we're 55 in the inaugural Asia Pacific University rankings. And all of these rankings are from the prestigious and authoritative Times Higher Education World Ranking Survey. The success of our university is also your success. It gives prestige to your qualification, and you can proudly claim that you're a graduate of one of the world's best universities. You can say that you're a graduate of a modern university that has done its best to equip you to meet the needs of our 21st century community. We are investing in new and innovative ways to create the best student experience possible. And I'd like to tell you about a couple of our initiatives that are leading the way in the university sector. The new first-year model, which we will introduce next year, is the first of its kind in Australia. It is one of the most significant innovations in higher education in this country. We'll have small classes of 40 students, and they will replace large lectures. Courses will be taught in single, sequential, 4-week blocks. Face-to-face contact between teachers and students will increase substantially. And the 21st century skills that are demanded by employers, critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration in teams, and communications ability will be embedded in all of our courses. And then there is the hangar, the centrepiece of our efforts to develop our students' entrepreneurial skills. And the hangar continues to grow. From one entrepreneur in residence, we now have 3. The hangar is there for all the students of the university, and for alumni of the university. It also serves as a source of advice to a growing number of businesses in the west of Melbourne. These and other innovations continue our tradition of preparing students for the real world of work. And as our reputation builds, because of these initiatives, the value of your qualification will grow. We're not an ivory tower university, but one that is open and accessible to all. We want to be a university without boundaries. Our many partnerships with industry and community are one way of achieving this aspiration. These partnerships provide countless opportunities for our students, placements and work-integrated learning, research projects and pathways to future employment. We also care deeply about the health and prosperity of our community, particularly the west of Melbourne. The Brimbank Initiative is one example of a concerted effort to improve the health and well-being of a local community. The West of Melbourne Economic Development Alliance, led by Victoria University and chaired by the Honourable Steve Bracks, is developing strategies to increase investment and employment in this rapidly growing region of our city of Melbourne. Today, we're graduating students from the College of Business and from the College of Law and Justice. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about each of the colleges. In response to the changing needs of industry, the College of Business this year introduced 2 new master's courses, the Master of Tourism and Destination Management and the Master of Change, Innovation and Leadership. These new courses will build on the college's established reputation for excellence, with its Master of Business Administration again being marked in Tier 1 by CEO magazine in 2017 and ranked in the top business schools by Boss magazine. And the MBA Professional has been ranked 4 stars by GMAA in 2017. The college's courses and curricula are at the forefront of teaching and with strong support from industry reflect the changing nature of business in this country. The college's strength in SAP and ERP will see the launch of Australia's first Next Gen Lab, which will be the first university-based initiative that connects students, researchers and startups with SAP customers and partners. Also, Victoria University students recently participated in the Resilient Cities project, which was pioneered by the Rockefeller Foundation and sets out to make Melbourne a viable, sustainable, livable and prosperous city. The college is increasingly involved in entrepreneurial education, with 20 students having participated in the prestigious European Innovation Academy in 2016 and a further 17 students having attended the 2017 Academy program in Turin in Italy. Also, Victoria University students participated in the Young Leaders and Entrepreneurs Study Tour to China in both 2016 and 2017 through the Victorian Business Confucius Institute. Through the global competition for entrepreneurship in Shanghai, a Victoria University student was awarded in 2017 the most popular entrepreneur. We also work hard to equip our students to make a contribution to the real world. The College of Law and Justice offers programs designed to ensure that our students graduate with a legal education which includes diverse practical experiences. Graduates, such as yourselves, can differentiate yourself in the workforce because as part of your studies, you've participated in clinical legal education programs. You've also enjoyed the benefits of the college's strong connections to the legal profession, including West Justice, Victorian Legal Aid, Victoria Police, the Magistrates Court of Victoria, as well as many private law firms. Today, as you'll graduate and leave us to embark on your career, consider how you might use the skills that you've acquired to strengthen the communities from which you've come, or the new communities that you are destined to become part of. Today, over 250 of you will graduate, and I encourage you to remain connected to the Victoria University community as a member of the Alumni Association so that you can continue to build your personal and professional networks. And I have no doubt that you will be wonderful ambassadors for Victoria University. So congratulations from me once again. And to the family and the friends who are with us and who've put so much time and effort into supporting your graduates here today, I want to hear you celebrating. This is a celebration. We do respect the formality and the tradition of graduation ceremonies, but we don't want to make them too boring and stuffy. You've had the boring bit already, that was my speech. But when every student comes up on stage, I really want to hear you clapping and I want to hear you cheering because they have achieved something special and we need to recognise it. And as some of you who've been to graduations here before will know, if you're not clapping loudly enough and you're not cheering, I'll stop the ceremony until you do. And you won't be invited back unless you participate in a very enthusiastic way. So I implore you to enjoy the occasion, to celebrate and let your feelings out. Now, graduands, please stand, because this is really the important part of the ceremony. And I call upon the chair of the academic board, Ms. Deborah Tyler, to present the authorised record of all conferred graduates for this ceremony and those who are in absentia. Thank you, Deborah. And now, by virtue of the authority that is vested in me by the Council of Victoria University, I admit the fully authorised graduates to the appropriate awards and to all the rights and all of the privileges that are associated with those awards. Congratulations. Now, graduates, because you've become graduates. You were graduands about 2 minutes ago, but now you're graduates. You're going to be doing some standing and coming up on stage and so on. Lots of complicated things. I'm going to ask you to do one really complicated thing. That's to turn around. Of course, you people on stage don't have to. Every other graduate, please turn around, because I want you to face your family, your friends, and your supporters, and I want you to give your family and friends a round of applause to say thank you. Thank you for all of your support in helping to get us here today. Thank you all very much. You may resume your seats.
Thank you, Chancellor. I now call upon the Director, Learning and Teaching from the College of Business, Dr. Romana Gama.
Chancellor, I'm honoured to present the graduates from the College of Business. The following graduate has been awarded the Graduate Certificate in Business. Desiree Satrivi. The following graduate has been awarded the Graduate Certificate in Management. Scott Lacey. following graduate has been awarded the Graduate Certificate in Marketing: Jasmine Shanice Zammit. Jasmine's also a VU staff member. The following graduate has been awarded the Graduate Diploma in Professional Accounting: Faustina Botchway. Nguyen Pham. Min Chun Chan. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Accounting: Huda Muhammad Ul Bugsan. Michael. Goran Vukovic. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Business after undertaking the specialisation in one or more of the following: accounting, enterprise resource planning systems, finance, information systems and entrepreneurship resource planning systems, industrial relations, human resource management, marketing, supply chain management. Seema Anjum. Deepak Bali. Amajalgal Bayasakan. Chapakagain Ravendra Prasad. Gurpreet Kaur Bhatia. Sanyutka Kalisha Chahra. Chen Yu Chu. Mahipal Sharag. Diana Carolina Costa Sanchez. Hai Ang Kwa Dan. Subhana Day. Gabriela Dika Effendi. Zeki Maurice Lewis Gomez. Parul Gupta. Gurung Sandeep. Fahan Hassan. Shahid Hassan. Nan Tui Huan. Meng Huang.
You know, I was serious when I said you've got to celebrate. None of this polite clapping. You know, this is not a 450-year-old conservative institution. We're Victoria University. We celebrate today. That's it.
Pechara Yanthapful. Bilal Javed. Casey Nitta. Rajdeep Kaur. Sandeep Kaur. Sumnik Kaur. Arong Sayemi Kim. And Kim is also celebrating her birthday today. Sumit Kinga. Sunil Kumar. Paveen Kumari. I like that smile. Bruno Leach Homem de Gouveia. Liang Ping. Mariam Maileki. Parul Malhotra. Wu Fong Tao Nguyen. Renata Pacheco da Silva. Renata's also celebrating her birthday. That's how you get the claps. Rajiv Pandey. Pradhan Puya. Priyanka Priyanka. Mohammed Zord Kwama. Annabelle Rampas. Dendi Rossman. Sarav Sarav. Radhika Gopal Kumar Shah. Anmika Shekhawat. Oki Shrestha. Shalu Sobiti. Takaki Miura. Piyush Tharman. Min Tin Wu. Fendi Yento. Rani Unita. Zishan Ahmad. Nitin Good Bandari. Vinay Kumar Devapali. Sandeep Kaur Daliwal. Jane Brooke Jones. Ket Wai Pio. Liu Yong Shen. Mohammed Shoaib Mughal. Nanwat Dan Koa Nguyen. Jeremy Onyango Odi Ambo. Rishi Ray Singh Palmer. Samisha Maruti Punaji. Samika's also celebrating a birthday. Dipti Rajan. Adash Rangan Akula. Kanala Yingpei Toon. Chatufone Yantali Si. Chen Ming. Chirag Kiran Chulhan. Joshin Kumar. Sasabil Shaki. Pani Sundala. Emily Tegan Vella. Dara Mulia. Laura Catalina Novoa Corzo. Cormag Ayu Widatiani. Tuan Ann Lay. Grace Muwana Nisimba. Han Tuen Quack. Carolyn Ann Cruz. Emilia Jean Lewis. Newack Ann Newen. Newack Ann Newen. Yonyi Tagunod Beltran. Pavan Bodki. Nikola Mladenovic. Nguyen T. Min Nguwit. Hui Min Fan. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Business Administration. Sharmeen Atkar. Larissa Kane. Thomas Delahunty. Picha Doan. Jordan Thomas Doyle. Marianne Hobson. Martin John Jones. Sankalpa Wu Inten. Taylor Mayer. Taylor is also celebrating a birthday. Anne Mayalap. Elizabeth Phillips. Merdad Sakai. Ahmed Farouk Sheikh. Inayat Rehman. Benjamin Cox. Scott Gissing. Andreas Perez. Rachna Prasad. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Business Analytics. Komal Balala. Wu Nan. Akinyemi Samson Oladeo. Daruv Aurora. Ashan Chaturanga Migorda. Linaj Don Sheehan Melinda Rodrigo. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Enterprise Resource Planning Management. Akshantha Ramakrishna Davasam. Ekanayaki Mudiyan Selaj Harini Samanga K. Kapogoda. Sonia Yamsik. Ko Sia Ping. Raja Sivagama Sundari. Sia Chen Kun. Henry Wu. The following graduate has been awarded the Master of Finance. Mohammed Al-Humadi. The following graduate has been awarded the Master of Industrial Relations and Human Resource Management. Joanna Galley. The following graduate has been awarded the Master of Management. Janine Louise Martin. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Marketing. Koa Chu Bing. James Gathorgo Kimani. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Accounting / Master of Business Administration. S.A. Moshin. Luz Elena Prieto Ruz. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Research Practice. Anna Saparas. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates from the College of Business. Chancellor, I call upon Dean, College of Law and Justice, Professor Michael Stuckey.
Chancellor, I am honoured to present the graduates from the College of Law and Justice. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws. Seren Akhtogan. Mark Andreakio. Angela Mary Stanley. Roger Sydney Armistead Rainey. Mariam Javed Iwan. Ryan Dave Berrioso. Shaili Kamarani. Christine Marie Celestin. Julius Chikwe. Bianca Christie. Emily Craig. Jonathan Dodoro. Courtney Rose Donnelly. Samuel Maxwell Formica. Gagandeep Jasal. Lauren Kelly. Jack Tyrone Kidgel. Francis Kilaki. Michael John Kotsifas. Alyssa Catherine Lewis. Paulina Makowska. Amanda Jane McDermott. Ellen Susan McIntyre. Kristen Rachel Morrow. Olivia Natalie Morton. Jasna Muslimovic. Nepomicino Karina. Stacey Eileen New. Cindy Bao V. Nguyen. Hang No Yen. Alexandra Papadakis. Huda Saud. Nicole Simone Selakovic. Alexander William Shirefs. Laura Kate Sibrava. Evangelos Sirkos. Harvey James Robert Smith. Anna Smith. Anne Louise Steed. Bartholomew John Tascone. Susan Sergi Thomas. Abdul Ghaffar Torabi. James Turnbull. Belinda Valeska. Isabella Viola. Frank Joseph Vergona. Grace Ellen Whiteley. Angela Wu. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws with honours. Adam Alfred Attard. Taylor Ann Billington. Holly Kathleen Boylan. David Francis Breer. Tony Mara Marie Jewell. Yasmin Ona. Denise Ruo Shan So. Mi Tian Di Wind. Nicola Jane Thompson Donnelly. Kayla Ruth Winship. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Legal Practice Management. Manjit Kaur. Jessica Beverly Kirkley. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Legal Services. Janita Imeri. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Arts. Amanda Catherine Ford. Leslie Ruvan Gurusingha. Michelle Ann Rosal. Kieran Lucas Sheehan. Abigail Elizabeth Williams. Tyler Jade Winkler. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Laws with Honours and Bachelor of Arts. McCabe Dangerfield. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Business after undertaking the specialisation in one of the following: Accounting, Banking and Finance, Human Resource Management and Innovation. Abandub William. Amy Marie Iani. Nathan Kwok Nam Duong. Cassandra Maria Lobo. James Louis Delios. Thomas Hugh Diprose. Kang Chi Din. Hannah Jane Eggleston. Andrew Mitrovic. Diana Lastrina. Isabella Muccio. Eliza Kate Evans. Sarah Claire Dressler. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Laws Honours. Yana Nicole Campbell. Jeremy Lee Keating. Marianne Ayar. Patrick Rose. The following graduates have been awarded the Graduate Certificate in Australian Migration Law and Practice. Sarah Allen. Rosa Barley. Giuliano Philip Bashi. Kathy Chonsarat Burana Krista. JP Vergara Casapiao. Barbara Kakala Finau. Nadish Hiremath. Jodie Janine Kendrick. Najwa Khatib. Malinda Kumar. Lin Fei Lin. Wenbo Lu. Yanxiang Lu. Mao Liang. Rai Pramila. Subhansh Prasad Sa. Rupali Verma. Hui Wang. Zhang Xiao Yu. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the College of Law and Justice. Chancellor, I call upon the Pro-Vice-Chancellor Research and Research Training, Warren Payne, to present the doctoral awards.
Chancellor, professional doctoral degrees are conferred on those who have undertaken a combination of advanced coursework and original research, resulting in a significant contribution to knowledge in the relevant professional field. The work generally includes a critical review of the literature, a systematic form of inquiry, and the preparation of a thesis reporting the outcomes of the research. Chancellor, I present to you Maura Rose Carys, who by reason of a thesis entitled Identifying Skills Required for Senior Managers in Vocational Education Training, an Australian perspective, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Business Administration. Vocational Education Training, or VET, in tertiary education plays a critical role in skill formation and productivity. Maura presents new primary evidence on the composition of leadership skills in VET in Australia. Self-assessed indicators shed some new light on the relative importance of cognitive, problem-solving, business and strategic skills, which seem to vary across the public and private sectors. Maura's principal supervisor was Dr. George Messinas, and the associate supervisor was Associate Professor Theo Papadopoulos. Chancellor, Dr. Maura Rose Carys. Chancellor, I present to you Hedda Madden Hallett, who by reason of a thesis entitled Generation Y's Brand Perception of Industrial Unions in the Context of Declining Membership, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Business Administration. Helen's research examined the application of marketing principles to the problem of declining trade union membership amongst Generation Y. Gen Y interviewees indicated they had little awareness of unions as a product category, and many were uninformed about the NTU as a brand. Helen's recommendations will assist unions to create environments conducive to long-awaited membership renewal. Helen's principal supervisor was Mr. Richard Goff, and her associate supervisor was Dr. Jamie Downey. Chancellor, Dr. Helen Maiden Hallett. Chancellor, I present to you Wanamina Waihama, who by reason of a thesis entitled Critical Factors Influencing ICT Adoption Within the Thailand Government, has satisfied the degree for admission to the degree of Doctor of Business Administration. Using structural equation modelling to determine the factors influencing the use of a large financial information system by Thailand's government ministries, Wanamina was able to make recommendations to improve their information systems and to target training and assistance programs for government employees. Wanamina's research has the potential to influence the efficiency of government departmental operations in Thailand. Wanamina is currently a lecturer in Business Administration Department, Faculty of Management Sciences at the Prince of Songkhla University, Thailand. Wanamina's principal supervisor was Professor Michael McGrath, and her associate supervisor was Dr. Michelle Fong. Chancellor, Dr. Wanamina Waihama. Chancellor, Doctor of Philosophy degrees are conferred on those who have completed a major program of original research, resulting in a significant new contribution to knowledge in the relevant field. The work generally includes a critical review of the literature, a systematic form of inquiry, and the preparation of a substantial thesis reporting the outcomes of the research. Chancellor, I present to you Fatimeh Abdi, who by reason of a thesis entitled Universal Standards for the Concepts of Fairness, Trust and Security in Online Dispute Resolution in the B2C e-disputes, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Fatimeh's research focused on the resolution of disputes using e-commerce. Through a series of detailed face-to-face interviews, followed by an online survey, she developed protocols to allow purchasers to believe that their transactions will be fair, trustworthy and secure. Fatimeh is currently working as a migration assistant. Fatimeh's principal supervisor was Professor John Zlesnikov, and her associate supervisor was Dr. Christopher Bryan. Chancellor, Fatimeh Abdi. Chancellor, I present to you Firmin Bunyamin, who by reason of a thesis entitled Understanding Indonesian Economic Growth, Studies on Education, Structure and Exports, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Firmin examined why Indonesia's economic growth has been slower since 2001 than in earlier decades. Using regression analysis and a growth model, he found that key factors for slower economic growth during this period were lower manufacturing competitiveness and slower growth in human capital. In addition, as manufacturing and knowledge-intensive services both have strong links to other sectors, their weaker performance flows through the economy. These findings have important policy implications. Firmin's principal supervisor was Professor Peter Sheehan, and his associate supervisor was Professor Jimmy Tran. Chancellor, Dr. Firmin Bunyamin. Chancellor, I present to you Suhana Saleh, who by reason of a thesis entitled Population Dynamics and the Nexus Between Human Capital and Economic Growth in Malaysia, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Ageing can impact productivity and social welfare. Suhana examines the role of ageing in education and economic growth in Malaysia. New empirical evidence confirms the importance of human capital in technology transfer and growth with ageing having some positive effect. Future research ought to explore alternative models and further examine the role of ageing and quality of education. Suhana's principal supervisor was Dr. George Macinas, and her associate supervisor was Professor Peter Sheehan. Chancellor, Dr. Suhana Saleh. Chancellor, I present to you Paris Nasir Nia, who by reason of a thesis entitled Integration and Efficiency in Port-Oriented Supply Chains, the Dynamics of Automotive Import Chains through the Port of Melbourne, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Paris has undertaken a very significant research into automotive supply chains through the Port of Melbourne. Her research investigates inefficiencies in the system, where and how bottlenecks occur, and the means of ameliorating these. It is a particularly relevant topic as automobile manufacturing in Australia ceased in 2017, and there will be a demand for efficient import supply chains. Paris is currently working with Victoria University as a researcher in research development. Paris's principal supervisor was Professor Sophia Everett. Chancellor, Dr. Paris Nasir Nia. Chancellor, I present to you Putu Ida Ramawati, who by reason of a thesis entitled Linking Corporate Social Responsibility, Tourism and Climate Change to Build Tourism Community Adaptive Capacity to Climate Change in Bali, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Inda investigated the role of corporate social responsibility can play in assisting tourism destinations to adapt to the risk of climate change. She did this using Bali, her home province, as a case study. The approach she had developed has the potential application in island destinations more generally. Her findings have been accepted for publication in one of the leading international tourism journals. Putu's principal supervisor was Professor Terry DeLacy, and her associate supervisor was Dr. Min Jiang. Chancellor, Dr. Putu Inda Ramawati. Chancellor, I present to you Azida Rawaz, who by reason of a thesis entitled Enhancing Customer Loyalty in Health Clubs, the Role of Social Media, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. New marketing directions are emerging using social media. Small businesses in particular need direction on how to take advantage of using the internet-based social media to increase market share and customer loyalty. The thesis comprehensively explains the ways by which social media can most effectively maintain contract loyalty in small businesses, using health and fitness clubs as a study example. Azida's principal supervisor was Professor Lindsay Turner, and her associate supervisors were Dr. Hafizul Islam and Dr. Gavin Lees. Chancellor, Dr. Azida Rawaz. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of doctoral candidates. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Dawkins, AO, to present the University Medalist.
Chancellor, it is with great honour that I now present the University Medal for Academic Excellence. University medals are awarded to those graduates who have achieved consistent academic excellence over the duration of their course. Academic excellence requires a student to achieve a grade point average of at least 6 over the duration of their course. Medals are awarded at each onshore graduation round for students in the following categories: higher degree by research, postgraduate by coursework, undergraduate honours, undergraduate coursework in each college, and vocational education. For the Medal for Academic Excellence in Undergraduate Coursework for the College of Law and Justice, please congratulate Amanda McDermott. Amanda achieved excellent results throughout her course with a grade point average of 6.9 out of a maximum 7 and an average mark of 84. Please welcome Amanda McDermott. The Medal for Academic Excellence in Postgraduate Coursework Studies in the College of Business goes to Amelia Lewis. Amelia achieved excellent results throughout her course with a grade point average maximum of 7 and an average mark of 86. Please welcome Amelia. Chancellor, I'm honoured to present the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa. Victoria University is proud to honour the Honourable Steve Bracks, AC. If he'd like to stand. The former Premier of Victoria, for his distinguished service to Victoria and in particular to the west of Melbourne, where Victoria University is based. Mr Bracks served as Victoria's 44th Premier from 1999 to 2007 and represented the seat of Williamstown from 1994 to 2007. Mr Bracks was educated at St Patrick's College, Ballarat, and at the Ballarat College of Advanced Education, now Federation University, where he obtained both a Diploma of Business Studies and Accounting and a Graduate Diploma of Education and Economics. He began his career as a commerce teacher, and from 1976 to 1981 he taught at Sacred Heart College, Ballarat. During the 1980s he worked in local government in Ballarat and then as Executive Director of the Ballarat Education Centre. While in these positions, he twice contested the seat of Ballarat North in the Victorian Legislative Assembly for the Australian Labor Party. In 1989, Mr Bracks was appointed Manager of the Victorian Government's Employment Policy and Program Division. He then became an advisor to the Premier, the Honourable John Cain, and subsequently his successor as Premier, the Honourable Joan Kirner. After the defeat of the Kirner government in 1992, Mr Bracks became Executive Director of the Victorian Printing Industry Training Board. Upon Ms Kirner's resignation from Parliament in 1994, Mr Bracks was elected to Ms Kirner's former seat of Williamstown and immediately became a member of the Labor front bench as Shadow Minister for Employment, Industrial Relations and Tourism. In 1996 he became Shadow Treasurer, and in March 1999 he was elected Opposition Leader. In 1999, Labor Party led by Mr Bracks formed a minority Labor government. And in 2002, Mr Bracks' Labor Party won the election in a landslide, taking 62 seats out of 88 in the Legislative Assembly. On the 25th of November 2006, Mr Bracks won his third election to secure a third term. And in July 2007, Mr Bracks announced his resignation as Premier. As Premier, Mr Bracks led the rebuilding of Victoria's infrastructure and services while maintaining strong budgets and managing a growing economy. He invested heavily in education and skills, and Victoria's retention rate to Year 12 education became one of the highest in Australia. He also led a reform proposal through a national reform agenda designed to increase workplace participation, improve skills, reduce business regulation and boost productivity. Following his resignation, Mr Bracks undertook a pro bono advising role in East Timor, working alongside the newly elected Prime Minister Xanana Gusmao. He remains an advisor to the Prime Minister of Timor-Leste. He also joined several company boards and is currently the chair of the board of CBUS, a leading industry superannuation fund. In 2008, the Federal Labor Government appointed Mr Bracks to lead an inquiry into the ongoing viability of the Australian car industry. He was the automotive envoy for the Australian Government 2009 to 2013. Additionally, from 2011 to 2013, he was appointed member of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade Council for Australian-Arab Relations. He was also honorary chair of the organising committee for the World Road Cycling Championships held in Victoria in 2010. Mr Bracks is patron of the Australian-Lebanon Chamber of Commerce and Industry and a director of the Ballabo House Trust, the Burnett Institute, the Eureka Democracy Centre, Ballarat, the Hadassah Australia Foundation, the Western Health Foundation and the Western Melbourne Tourism Board. He is also a leading advocate for both multiculturalism and Aboriginal reconciliation. Mr Bracks has been a long-standing friend and advocate of Victoria University and has a strong commitment to the economic and social well-being of the West of Melbourne. He willingly provides strategic advice and counsel to the Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor on such matters, including government relations. In 2015, Mr Bracks agreed to chair the West of Melbourne Economic Development Alliance, WMEDA, a collaborative venture with local government, business and the community to promote the economic development of the West of Melbourne, led by Victoria University. Under his guidance, WMEDA has recently released its proposed economic development strategy for the West of Melbourne, with a focus on promoting job clusters, especially in Footscray, Sunshine and Werribee. In 2010, Mr Bracks was appointed a Companion of the Order of Australia for services to the community and the Parliament of Victoria. In 2011, he was presented with the Timor-Leste Solidarity Medal. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to the community as the member for Williamstown and as the 44th Premier of Victoria, and through his strong and continuing community engagement and his continuing advice and support for Victoria University, including as Chair of WMEDA, I present to you, for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa, Stephen Philip Bracks.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Victoria University, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa. Congratulations, Dr. Bracks. Now, I invite Dr. Bracks to deliver the occasional address for this graduation ceremony. Steve.
Thank you, Chancellor. Chancellor of Victoria University, George Pappas, the Vice-Chancellor of Victoria University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and in particular the graduates here today. Congratulations on what you've achieved here today. It's fantastic. Could I also acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which this graduation ceremony is held, the Kulin Nation? Could I pay my respect to elders, any other elders who are present here today, and thank them for their permission to be on their land here today. Australia had a population in the post-war period in 1945 of about 7 million people. Hard to believe now. There was a consensus across the country at that time that that couldn't be the case for a long period of time, and that Australia needed to, by consensus and agreement, build its population base to at least 20 million people. And in fact, despite a then discriminatory migration policy at the time, successive governments since 1945 have had an agreement and a consensus that that should be the case, welcoming waves of migration from the United Kingdom and from New Zealand, from continental Europe, from Asia, from the Horn of Africa, from the Middle East, successfully settling in Australia over that period, over the next 60 years, to a position now where we have a population of well in excess of 20 million people. So very much a success. In fact, we have 24 million people achieve the goals set by those post-war governments. Indeed, our successful economy has been built on our migration policy and multiculturalism, to the extent which today, in our two capital cities of Melbourne and Sydney, some 40% of the people have a non-English speaking background. And what a transformation and change that has been from the post-war Australia that some of us lived through, some of the people here lived through. I was certainly in my childhood at that time. And what a change that has been. The irony of the hysteria currently surrounding migration policy today is that our prosperity depends on population growth in general and multiculturalism in particular. In 2010, Federal Treasury projected that Australia's population would reach 36 million people in 2050. If that projection comes to pass, Melbourne and Sydney will each have populations of 7 million people. Brisbane will have a population of around 4 million people. Some people think this is a disaster. I don't. Let's step back for a minute, put the question of population growth into perspective. In the 21st century, Australia faces three great challenges. First, climate change. By 2050, average temperatures could be almost 4 degrees higher, requiring massive investments in everything from transport to agriculture to water, security and energy. Second, an ageing population. In fact, one of the doctorates was really investigating this very matter. By 2050, 1 in 4 Australians will be aged over 65, placing enormous pressure on health and aged care services and reducing workforce participation. And third, the Asian century. By 2050, Asia will account for 52% of global gross domestic product, and Asia's middle class would have grown from around 500 million people to more than 3.2 billion people by 2050. This explosion of wealth across Asia will create a long boom in products and services that last for decades and dwarfs the mining boom which we have experienced here in Australia. How should Australia respond to this trifecta of change? How can we respond to the challenges of climate change and an ageing population? How can we capitalise on the opportunities of the Asian century? There is no doubt Australia needs to find smarter ways to live and work through smart investments in infrastructure and technology. But the critical ingredient is human capital. By 2050, Australia needs a population that is not just bigger, but healthier, better educated and more innovative. And education is the key. We can't compete on manufacturing goods with our region, particularly in the Asian century that's coming up. But we can compete on skills and human capital, and education is the key to unlocking that capacity and ability here in Australia. Without a critical mass of talent, we won't have the economic capacity to respond to the impacts of climate change and an ageing population, let alone participate in the Asian century. But growth can't happen in a haphazard way. We need to plan and organise Australia's population growth into 3 mega regions. One could be the west coast of Australia, running from Geraldton to Busselton with Perth at the centre. Another could be the north, making a much expanded Darwin a gateway to Asia. And a third would have to be on the east coast, running from Brisbane to Sydney to Canberra to Melbourne. These mega regions, if linked by superfast trains and by a reformed and adequate and improved national broadband network, would achieve 2 goals. First, they would take the pressure off city centres by enabling decentralisation of industry and employment. Second, they would drive productivity and innovation by enabling the kinds of agglomeration of industries and talent that you see in places like Silicon Valley in California. It can be done and it must be done. But first, Canberra needs to stop obsessing about refugees in boats and start making long-range plans and investments needed to secure Australia's next wave of growth and prosperity. As a nation, we need to realise that migrants and a highly skilled workforce are key to Australia's future. They always have been and they always will be. As graduates, you will play an important and key role in that future. Again, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I know you'll play a part in this great future we have for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve, and congratulations. I now invite Francis Kalaki to speak on behalf of the graduates. Francis graduated today with a Bachelor of Laws and achieved a grade point average of 6.3. Francis was awarded the 2014 Booth Medal for Best Law Student and was shortlisted as a finalist in the 2016 VU Alumni Awards in the category of Outstanding Student. Francis was actively involved in VU's career mentoring program and has a long history of community volunteering in youth support, suicide prevention and legal aid programs. Francis was awarded the Outstanding Student Award for his contribution to Victoria Legal Aid. In 2018, Francis will be joining the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, where he looks forward to contributing their socially and economically responsible mission. Please welcome Francis.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Council members, the Honourable Steve Bracks, distinguished guests, academics and teaching staff, fellow graduates, family and friends. I would like to start by congratulating the Honourable Steve Bracks on receiving his award. Among his government's many notable achievements we studied at VU was the enactment of the Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities Act in 2006. This forward-thinking law recognises that all people are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Your presence here today reinforces a key lesson many of us have taken from VU, that being that the law exists to protect the most vulnerable in our community too. Thank you. It's an honour and a privilege to present this valedictorian address on behalf of my fellow students. The journey to where we are today is not one which we have taken alone. This is a moment to give thanks to those who have helped us along the way. To the College of Law leadership team, including Professor Michael Stuckey, his recent predecessor Professor Andrew Clark, Associate Professor Lydia Zinus, Dr Chris Bryan, Charles Giacchio, Associate Professor Michael Longo and Di Story, thank you for steering this ship that carried us here today. To all of the academic and teaching staff, thank you for sharing your passion, networks and knowledge for our benefit. To all of the support and administrative staff, from Michelle on the front desk to John Sperling, thank you for your work. It has smoothed the path for so many students, myself included. To our dedicated librarians, Murray, Bromwyn and team, thank you. Your assistance and lessons opened up a new world for all of us. To the Careers Law Service led by Susan Pincus, thank you for your invaluable advice and encouragement. To myself and so many students, there are VU alumni working across top-tier commercial firms, the courts and government who owe you a debt of gratitude for your dedicated efforts in opening doors. To the courts and internships team, including Laurel Bacchus and Noosan Ainsworth, thank you for your dedication in creating and maintaining programs that have been the highlight of many students' journey. Nothing beats first-hand experience and the occasional conversations with judges of the Victorian and Commonwealth law courts. Like many here today, I would not be talking had it not been for the support and love I've received from my family. I publicly pay tribute to my parents for their support. I am particularly grateful for the presence of my sister Sinead, brothers Owen and Evan, who have made the special trip to be here today. To my wonderful children, Caitlin and Kieran, you make everything worthwhile. Thank you for helping me on this journey. Let us give a round of applause to those who have supported us. Thanks must also go to those who have influenced and shaped us in other ways. This includes those who have led us barefoot down the metaphorical path of broken glass and sharp stones. To you we say thank you for the learning experience. We'll take it and use it to benefit others. To borrow a phrase from my Southern African friends, I am because we are. In my role at VU as a peer careers advisor and student, I met many scholars who enriched my journey immeasurably. To my fellow students who overcame the challenges of surviving journeys to Melbourne from countries including Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, South Sudan and Somalia, and studied law at VU, I say thank you. No discussion of administrative law, public law and the Migration Act is as meaningful as when the strength of human spirit is part of the narrative. To my fellow students of many religions who escaped life-threatening persecution overseas and ended up studying law at VU, thank you. Theoretical discussions of human rights are one thing, but to benefit from those with a lived experience is truly a privilege. Thank you for your presence. To my fellow students who have mastered 2, 3 and sometimes 4 languages, then bravely turned and completed law studies in English. Thank you for the commitment to learning which humbles us all. To my fellow students who have faced personal hardships and challenges which would strain most people to breaking point, thank you. Thank you for your persistence and the benefit you will bring to the community because of your experiences. To my fellow students, thank you for your inspiration, good company, conversations and friendships over the last 3 years. It's been a brilliant and enjoyable experience. In the words of the Honourable Justice Emilius Cairo, Justice of the Victorian Court of Appeal, who came to Australia speaking not a word of English and with little else, if I can go from being a migrant with no English to a Justice of the highest court in Victoria, then anyone can. There are many here today who have what it takes to follow in Justice Cairo's footsteps. Congratulations, graduating class of 2017. A whole new adventure is about to begin.
Thank you, Francis, and congratulations. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Dawkins, AO, to read the charge to our new graduates.
Chancellor, can I ask all of the new graduates to stand, please? I charge you as graduates of Victoria University to uphold our commitment to excellence in the way you use your knowledge, skills and capabilities in your chosen occupations and industries and in your further studies. To engagement by the way you use your knowledge, skills and capabilities for the benefit of local and global communities. And access, along with equity and respect, by the way you connect with people from diverse countries, cultures, socioeconomic and educational backgrounds. Let it be known that you are now a graduate of Victoria University, defined by a commitment to excellence, engagement and access in everything you do. I charge you to make a difference to the world by modelling these values and behaviours and by being courageous in the way you play your part in solving problems in your work and in the broader community. Please be seated.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. I would now like to invite our Chancellor, Mr. George Pappas, AO, to speak with you. Thank you, George.
Thank you very much, Susan. I think you probably all realise that we're coming towards the end of our graduation ceremony, and I'd like to thank you all for being such enthusiastic participants in our celebration. It really was a joyous occasion for me, and it's one of the reasons why these graduation ceremonies are the highlights of my year as Chancellor. I love coming to our graduations. I love to see all of our graduates. I love to hear our occasional speakers, particularly when we confer an honorary doctorate to someone like Steve Bracks. I had the pleasure of working with Steve a number of years ago now when he was Premier, and I had a small stint in the Premier's department, and may I say that was, again, another of the highlights of my working career. So, Steve, my personal congratulations to you on receiving this honorary doctorate from Victoria University, and can I thank you for the contributions you've made to our university. And also to listen to students like Francis. You know, we graduate some really outstanding people from this university. All of you are outstanding people. All of you have worked very hard. Some of you have really ground it out to get your degrees, and to hear the kinds of stories in such an articulate way and in such a passionate way from people like you, Francis, just makes me feel that Victoria University is on the right track, and Victoria University produces some great graduates for our community. So thank you all for participating in this ceremony. There is going to be one final opportunity for those of you who are here as family and friends to show your appreciation and your enthusiasm for our graduates. So I'm going to ask the graduates to remain seated and everybody else to stand up. All the family and friends, please stand up, and we're going to give a very hearty round of applause to our graduates to say congratulations for what you've done.
Chancellor. That brings to a close the formal proceedings of this graduation ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor, I extend an invitation to all graduates and guests to join him and the university procession in the view on level 4 for refreshments. Now, for safety reasons, I ask guests to remain in their places until the university procession and the new graduates have left the atrium. Guests will then be invited to leave once the procession and all graduates have departed. Now, would everyone please stand?